Jesus Christ.
Come on.
God.
We always get shot, right?
Yo, who the fuck shot me, man?
Like clockwork.
Who hit me?
Who just shot me?
Why are you guys so
Wait,
mean to me?
which one of these got radiation by it?
I'm a grenadier.
Hey, where are you?
Worth talking through.
I am
There's
the one
it's the
with
radiation
the
stuff.
diagonal line on the backpack.
As I said, guys,
Yeah.
please do your best not to go to the crate and take stuff out of it for now.
Why was cheese just kicked off?
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not the crate you're supposed to be looking at.
I'm
The radiation sign.
C4.
Oh.
T-Hawks, you mind if
So we're following you, Chapel?
Much to our disappointment,
see me
yes.
on the shotgun.
What's better?
All of the
gun or
riflemen,
flashbang?
everyone who scroll wheels and gets a rifleman slot will pick up an 84 on their back. So
I heard something about not getting the AR. I missed that.
As a AR?
What was that about?
yeah, everyone just choose AR as well. If you're AR in the slot list, just take the AR. I'll cover that in a second.
Okay, so we are taking the assault rifle.
Yeah, if you are in that position.
Shotgun. Is that alright if I get a shotgun?
No, guys, just please stay away from the crate for now.
Oh my god,
Hey,
get
I'm
away
sorry
from the
about that,
crate,
okay.
retard.
Put your fucking shotgun back.
Next person to walk up to the crate gets shot.
Alright, guys, once you got your gear, just please come over here. I'm the fucking guy with the G36, and skill circle on me.
Here, now the grenadier.
What?
Sign.
That's not
No,
G36. That's a M4, isn't it?
I must have fucking. Oh, I scroll wheeled and got platoon leader, didn't I?
Oh well.
Lol.
My bad.
Yeah,
Alright.
someone saw that split.
You're lying.
Where's Taser at? Can you shoot in the air once?
Alright. Oh dear god. Alright.
That
let's
is
try
like
and-
Hey,
2 missiles
weapons
in like
on
1
safe,
minute.
guys.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Weapons safe.
Yeah, just
Shift
everyone,
tilde.
everyone either
Shift
save your
tilde.
weapons or just lower your weapon. So shift tilde or double click control.
Or shoot yourself.
Or kill yourself, that's good too.
That
Got
works.
my war face on.
Alright, so quickly to touch on the AR stuff, guys. If you're an AR, we'll rotate people in the fire team constantly after you've done a small FTX, just so everybody can have a chance and not be the dickhead with the big assault rifle in CQB. Alright, so welcome to the first iteration of the basic urban warfare course. This has been requested a lot, so we decided to put it into play. So obviously after this, in the thread, it'll be very, very welcome if you guys can just post what you thought, we maybe cut out, what we can add, and just because, as I said, first time, so we'll have some ironing out to do. So, the first bit of the course here is just a very, very small bit on the theory of urban warfare and just like what type of skills you need and shit. So, urban warfare is one of the most lethal forms of modern combat. It's a three-dimensional battleground. You can be shot from all over the place, rather than on an open field. You can only be shot from someone very, very far away, but on the same platform as you. Everywhere you go, there's limiting field of views. Your firing arcs are cut off. There's normally more disadvantages to an attacker than there is to a defender. Splash weapons become increasingly more lethal. You have far less reaction time to combat any threats that come out. And there's more cover and concealment on the battlefield, which of course works both ways to the attacker and the defender. And then the biggest fucking point of urban warfare is situation dictates. So you're going to be told a lot of stuff in here, and if you guys stack up on a wall and something happens, you don't need to follow through with the plan, because the situation dictates that you always follow the goddamn situation. So just to make a really, really quick differentiation here, I'm going to be using two words, CQB and MOUT. Now, they are not synonymous. People will sometimes think that MOUT is equal to CQB. It's not. CQB is the tactical level of warfare. So CQB is an infantry squad clearing a building. That's what CQB is. MOUT is the strategic level of urban warfare. So it's a platoon leader coordinating his 3 squads and his weapon team. It's a company commander coordinating his 3 rifle platoons and his attached fucking armored platoon. So if you guys hear me say MOUT, I'm talking from a leadership point of view. If you guys hear me say CQB, I'm talking from a guy with an M4 fucking kicking a door in. That type of shit. So the skills of CQB are slow is smooth and smooth is fast. You need to be very, very fucking precise with your movements. No sprinting, no jogging, no anything. You need to think of what you're going to do before you do it, so you don't just walk into a room and start shooting. The second thing is you always move from the known to the unknown. So from what you can see to what you can't see. So that's so you don't walk into, you know, with your back turned to the guys fucking about to shoot you from behind the door. A massive thing in CQB, teamwork and communication. If you can't rely on your teammates, you're fucking dead going into a house. And if you don't communicate, you're fucking dead going into a house. And finally, this is more of a real life thing, but I really, really like the word or the phrase violence of action. Fucking CQB is all about being violent. You kick doors in, you scream, you throw grenades, you yell, you hit people, you shoot, you want to run into that house and make the defender wish he died before you came because he needs to be scared shitless. That's the type of shit that is about CQB, you know, you want to fucking blind him, blow out his eardrums, make him unconscious, bleed to death, all that fucking fun stuff. Alright, so we will... Is there any questions on that, by the way? On fucking theoretical CQB?
What does MOUT
That was a
stand
pretty
for?
good description.
Military operations in urban terrain. It's actually the old US Army designation for urban warfare. I think they actually use urban warfare now instead of MOUT. I'm not 100% sure.
FIBO, I think.
Is it FIBO? To give you an idea of something at the MOUT level, if let's say a battalion commander has 3 companies, and he has one company flanking to the left of the city, a second company flanking to the right of the city, or sorry, platoon rather, and the third platoon is clearing through the city. The next phase of the plan will not have the platoon or the company that cleared through the city in it, because they expect enough casualties to make it combat ineffective, and it will not be able to move on to the next plan after the city. That's how serious fucking CB is. It's they don't go in unless...
when attacking a CQB is 3-1 attack.
Yeah, 3-1. Yeah. Anyway, so we will move on to CQB. So basically, all of our so we're going to be moving into CQB right now. So the fucking first part of this is moving in a CQB environment. So the first thing is arcs. That's the most important goddamn word. This is the fire team down to the fire team leader. He needs to make sure that whoever is on point is constantly scanning to the front, as in the front 180 degrees. The next man is scanning to the more immediate threat to the left or right. So if you're going down a road and there's more alleyways to your right, he'll be scanning right first. Second man alternate left, and the third man will always be rear. But the rear arc does not mean walking backwards. Don't walk backwards. That's a very big thing, because if you walk backwards now in real life, you trip over shit, you fall down, you have no idea what's going on. If you walk backwards in Arma, you won't be able to see when people stop, you won't be able to see if something happens. So just when you're scanning, when you're on rear, you're looking behind you, and on a stop you will turn around, but up until stopping, don't walk backwards. The point man is in control of the stick. If the point man stops, everyone stops. He will tell the fire team leader when he needs to stop, if he needs to stop. So if you were in point, you're in control of your breaching team, and your guys will have to listen to you in all things. When you're moving, you always try and get a hard surface to one of your sides. So if you're going down a street in Fallujah, you want one of those real big, like, kind of orange clay walls to your side, so you can to limit the amount of places you can be shot from. If you're in a hallway, you want to have like the hallway with, for instance, the least amount of doors on it. You always want to have some sort of a hard surface to your side to limit one of the angles you can get shot from. When you're moving, you want the smaller openings. So, for instance, alleyways, doorways, maybe breaks and walls, you want to pie slice. Now I'll be going over pie slicing later, so you guys will know what that is. But so if it's a smaller opening, you want to make sure that you pie slice the opening. If it's a larger opening, so with a road, for instance, you want to do a high-low on the corner, and the other buddy team will bound across. They'll do a high-low on the other side, and then you bound across, and you continue your movement down the road. So as I said, I'll be doing high-low as well in a little bit. And finally, checking your damn corners is very, very, very important. You constantly need to be glancing to the blind spots and trying to see if anyone's trying to fuck you up. And finally, don't split up. Don't let your fire team leader send 2 buddy teams 100 meters apart in CQB. Don't let the squad leader send the 2 fire teams 100 meters away in CQB. There's one fucking movie, I can't remember what it's called, that stupid fucking one where the EOD guys pick up a 50 cal sniper rifle and are super proficient with it. I think it won an Oscar.
Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker, yeah. At the end of Hurt Locker, they're chasing some guy and they go, oh, let's split up. So in the middle of, like, let's say downtown Baghdad, they all take a fucking alleyway. Retards. Don't do that. Alright.
What's a shitty movie anyway?
Tio, where's the lesson plan for this lesson?
It's not uploaded yet.
Oh, Roger.
Yeah.
Do you want an extra body?
Yeah, if you want to come in.
Yep.
Alright, so now we're going on to the fun bit. So stacking up. So as we approach the building, the team leader will decide the. Oh, sorry, don't worry, guys. We'll get into practical shit in a little bit. TL decides the breaching technique and the areas of responsibility. When we go into a room, so he will scope out the room and he'll decide what way we're going to breach. I'll cover the way we're going to breach in a second. You move to the doorway of the opening without ever crossing the sight line of the doorway. So you need to make large movements to get around doorways or things, but just make sure you do not cross the opening and expose yourself to the inside. The point man, as he comes to the door, will always try and scope the door, leaning, left, leaning right, but that's forward, but not exposing himself too much. And he is perfectly allowed to take any targets of opportunity he says inside. As the point man is scoping the door, all of the arcs change. So the second man then covers the first 180 degrees, and the third man covers the second man's alternate, on all the way down. That changes. And then because this is Arma and we can't tap each other on the shoulder, if you're playing a co-op,
We can.
Oh yeah, but not everybody knows how to do it. You know what I mean? As in, like, I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
We're in the course.
Alright, so tapping your shoulder is you press tab, a mouse thing will come up, and you drag down, and that will tap the person in front of you. Now, the reason I didn't want to go over it is because it's the way I was going to describe it is way easier, and anybody can slot in and be able to do it. But in TVT, when there's other people who can hear you, then yes, using tapping the shoulder is good. But as I said, you're going to have to explain to the person to tap the shoulder, and that you're going to be giving yourself away when you explain it to tap the shoulder. So in co-op, normally the best way to do it is when the first man is set to breach, he just calls set, the second man calls set, third man calls set, and the fourth man in the fire team just says last man set. Then yep,
I'm sorry, how do you use the hand signal? The tapping?
You hold your tab button, it'll bring up a mouse, and you drag from the on the left hand side of the screen, you drag from the top of your screen to the bottom, and that should tap the person in front of you. His shoulder.
You've been tapped.
It'll say you have been tapped.
Could you repeat procedure, please?
I have been tapped. Am I tapping you back?
Yeah, you hold the tab button, you go to the left hand side of the screen, and you drag from top to bottom.
It has to be set up.
Yeah, as I said, there's a reason why I didn't want to include this in the course. So thanks to the people who said that. I'll make sure to fucking kill you later. Alright. So when the last man says all set, the first man just knows he's ready to breach, and then he says some sort of a word, breaching, moving, fucking anything, just to tell the fire team that he's moving in. So now we get on to oh sorry, any questions on stacking up then? Not at all? Oh, it's all pretty simple so far, yeah. So after you're ready to stack up when you're breaching, there is a point called the fatal funnel. So that is the area just inside the door where you are silhouetted to everybody on the outside. And it's your job as a breaching team to get through that fucking fatal funnel so you can't get shot from everyone on the inside and move to your areas of responsibility. The second one is committance. As soon as the first man goes in, everybody needs to go. Same as that. Like, as soon as the first man goes, everyone needs to be on his ass and moving in. Don't let the first man go like 5 minutes ahead of you. And the last one is the speed at getting through the fatal funnel is key. Don't stop in the fatal funnel. The only time you stop after breaching is when you've reached the end of your breaching pattern. As in, if you're going 45 degrees to the left, you only stop when the fucking room stops. That's when you stop. We'll go over 2 types of breaching. Buddy team breaching, which is normally done inside a house when there's multiple rooms and the fire team needs to split up into like a left and a right room. But the main one is fire team breaching. So if everybody follows me over to the fancy signs over here, we'll bring you to the first one we're going to do.
That looks hilarious. Mine.
Alright,
Mine.
so
Stand back,
Crouch
guys.
everyone.
Jesus.
yeah, everyone needs to crouch, guys.
Shit, what happened?
Double
I just
tap
fucking
control.
doze off.
Last
Why are
row
people
can
shooting?
Stand up.
Who is shooting?
Chaos, get the hell out of the way.
Put your weapon on safe.
Or just don't have a weapon.
Just put
use
it down.
tools.
You know what? Draw all your ammo. You don't need to shoot.
Yeah.
We're all move up.
Alright.
Gonna see better.
So this is the most simplest breaching technique, the most common one that we normally use. This is called the button hook. So
The butthole?
yes, that too.
The sun was
Oh, it's so
appropriate.
funny, guys.
Can we act a little bit older than 12 years old?
Okay, next.
Yeah.
Let's get on with
So-
this.
The button hook is used, as I said, it's the most common one. So this is only obviously a buddy team representation. So the first man, he is scoping. Basically, as you can see, he would only be able to see 45 degrees into the right, and if he leans a little bit, he'll be able to see roughly the corner of the right-hand side of the room. So when he is set, he breaches in and moves from the known, which is everything on the right, to the unknown, to the left. The second man, straight on his ass, moves into the right-hand side and takes the portion on the bottom right-hand side. So their areas of responsibility are the immediate left and right corner when entering the door. The third and fourth man follow roughly the same breaching patterns, except they go 45 degrees instead of a straight 180 degree turn. So the third man will follow the first man's breaching, except he will go to the top left hand side of the room, and the fourth man will follow the second man, except he will go to the top right hand corner of the room. And they stop when they've reached their corners, and that's their areas of responsibility. So if you can imagine the room split up into a quadrant, 1 has the bottom left quadrant, 2 the bottom right, 3 the top left, 4 the top right. So that's the most... Go ahead.
When you're 3 and 4, do you go to the wall corners, sticking to the wall?
No, you move across the room and in the open. So you go literally 45 degrees from the door frame to the corner. So you just make a line. Yeah. So is there any other questions on this?
Yeah, I have. I've seen it to where the first man going in, he instead of going to the immediate left corner, there's a contact. There would be a contact, literally 45-degree angle at the back of the room, aiming at the door. The first man, does he have the permission to engage that immediate threat instead of going straight to the corner?
Yes, there's a situation, as I said, situation dictates, and what you call that is immediate threat. So if the first man breaches through, he knows that he has to swing to the left. However, like straight ahead of them, more to the right, is actually another person. That's the immediate threat to him. He will get killed if he does not shoot that person. So he will change his own mind, like it's his permission. He does not want to die. He will engage that person and move towards him. This is where you need to be working as a team. The second man, obviously moving in behind him, will see this, and the second man will need to immediately hook left. So that he will need to immediately hook into the blind spot that 1 should have been clearing. And then 3 and 4, 3 would do his normal thing, and 4 would instead clear. Or sorry, 3 would clear the 45 degrees to the front left. So all of these, as I said, are ideal situations where, let's say, the enemy is hiding in the blacks or the blind spot to the back left there. But as I said, if there is an immediate threat, the first man changes his fucking route of attack, and the second, third, and fourth man need to move off him. So everybody needs to know where everyone else is moving, because if the first man takes the fourth man's position, then obviously there's going to be a big gap with the first man, so second man takes that, and then so on down the line. Is that okay?
Yep.
Alright, so this, as I said, this one's called button hook, so you might just want to remember these in your head, just so when you're playing as the FTL, you'll be able to tell your guys button hook or not. All right, so if you guys head over to the south, these are the three breaching techniques, which are a little bit more advanced than the what's it called, the button hook, but they all pretty much do the fucking same thing. So
Crouch.
I'll start with the one immediately to my front here, and this one is called the wall hang or running the wall. Let me just get up in front of me here, sorry.
Running the wall.
Yeah, so running the wall. So this is roughly the same as the button hook, except instead of stopping in your corner, you follow the wall all the way around until you meet on the opposite side of the wall. You see where 1 and 2 is. 3 and 4's position coming in this is very situational. 3 and 4 can continue and follow, so 3 can follow 1 and 4 can follow 2 around the wall, or the fireteam leader can decide that 3 and 4 will actually breach the same as button hook and do 45-degree angles into the room. But to keep it simple, you can just say that 1 and 3
Man
hook.
down.
Oh yeah, when people disconnect, they fall over. Don't pay attention to that.
Crashed.
So 1 and 3 will just follow the left-hand wall, and 2 and 4 will follow the right-hand wall. So this is used for positions where you know the inside of the room has, for instance, a large bit of debris in the middle. There might be people holding the middle of the room, and you want to try and envelop them, or basically anything with like kind of debris in the middle of the room, something that you can't clear normally. Is there any questions on wall hang? Running the wall?
Shouldn't one normally turn right, do 180 and turn right to the right wall first?
Oh, actually, yeah, you're correct. That is weird. I took these off a CQB site, and they must have fucked it up. Yeah, you're right. You move from the known to the unknown, so one should be moving right with 3, and 2 should be moving left with 4.
T-Hook, are you teaching US military SOP now, or are you teaching stuff that you've found?
US military SOP as usual.
Really?
Yeah.
4-man breach entry.
Yep.
The US must get so many casualties in February.
They're Americans, who cares?
Where are you from?
I'm from the UK.
Hey,
Cool.
shut up and let him talk.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Alright.
Sorry, Theo.
But yeah, so is there any other questions on the running the wall?
Nope.
Alright, that is an excellent catch, by the way. I did not even see that. I'm just too busy fucking looking at everything else. Alright, so if we go to the next one down here, guys. This one here is called the crossover. It's one of the more complicated ones of all the breaching techniques, because you have to move. If you can understand this, you have to move at the same time, but you have to be able to cross each other without killing each other. So in this case, 1 and 2 are obviously the initial breaching people. 3 would be to the left of 1, 4 to the right of 2, and you're just breaching into your unknowns and clearing the room. It's a little bit like button hook, just a little bit modified. So
what's this called again?
This one is called crossover or crossing. You know, anything that you can X. You know, whatever one you prefer. So this is just another. It's just another variation of the button hook. If you feel competent enough to do this, this one it looks very good when you clear into a room. It looks very, very good, but it takes a lot of practice to do. So 3 and 4 would just follow the same breaching pattern as 1 and 2. However, at a more of an oblique or acute angle, given on which way 2 or 1 goes. So, do I need to explain what I mean by oblique and acute angles there, or?
Yes,
negative.
It's basic geometry.
Yeah. So if 2 breaches in at an acute angle, so he breaches in more towards the back of the room. So let's say first. As he breaches in, he goes towards the back right-hand corner. That means that 3 needs to breach to the front right-hand corner. But if 1 breaches to an oblique angle, he needs to, or obtuse, not oblique, he needs to go to the top right-hand corner. So basically, you're just covering the arc that the first person didn't fucking cover. Very simple.
Roger that.
Yep. Alright, so
does
any
one
other
person kneel? And does one person stand?
That's if you're deciding to do the high-low. High-low is on the opposite side of these. I'll be showing you in a second. Basically, these three cover physically breaching the room. The far three over there cover basically recon into the room, followed by breaching. We'll get to that in a second. All right. So, is there any other questions on crossover?
Permission to criticize crossover.
You can criticize all you like. It's not my technique.
Well, as much as I liked, it looks good in the end. When you have the quick movement situation, you're both gonna move in direction and probably halfway there bump into each other and stop and get shot.
Yeah, that's the danger of the of this move. So obviously the first man moves like a second before the second man. The second man is important. He needs to time it so that he can clear the back of the first man while getting into the room.
Permission to retort.
Yeah, that's fine.
In the possibility when you're actually moving 1 second ahead, you're still in front of the friendly's barrel, and that is already very unsafe.
Yeah, that's another given of this move, is that the first man will be crossing the muzzle of the second man. As I said, this one is a more complicated one, and it relies a lot more on teamwork and relying on your second man not to shoot you as you go by him.
Permission to show no.
Yeah,
shut up.
We could just agree that the CQB is unsafe and move on.
Yeah, we could. I'll go play in the park if you guys want. There's not a lot of chance of dying there.
Yeah.
Nah.
When would you use this technique instead of the first one?
Sorry, say again?
When would you use this breaching technique instead of the first one? The first
well,
one seems
one of
much
the
safer.
Yeah, the first one is a lot safer. One of the times you would use this is if you can't get across the threshold of the doorway without exposing yourself. Do you know what I mean? So, like, you've come into the building perhaps. One of the teams has cleared through and is coming out, but there's a doorway in between you. You obviously can't walk in front of that doorway, so you would use the crossover.
All right.
So, yeah, so that's one of the examples right there. The other one is if you feel competent enough, you can just breach like this. Like, because the advantage of this is that there are, like, let's say 75% less blind spots moving into the room, because the first man is scoping everything to one side, second man is scoping everything to the other side, so there's less of a surprise going in. But obviously the downside is that you can run into each other, trip over each other in real life, you know, fall into the middle of the fatal funnel. Actually, while I'm on that, the other thing is, if you're coming through the fatal funnel and you are hit and you go to ground, do not get up. Stay down and let the rest of the team go get around you. Because if you get up, you're going to stand in the middle of the second or the third man coming in who's trying to shoot the contact who just shot you. So,
a minor note in Arma, if you go down in the corridor, you're blocking that corridor.
Oh yeah.
Because people can't step over you.
Yeah, roll to the left, roll to the right. Alright, so if there's no more questions, we'll move then to the final breaching, like major breaching, which is called same side.
Quick statement, guys. Don't stand up in the middle of the crowd because people can't see in the back.
Yeah, only stand up if you're the last line. Alright, so same side is used when you're breaching a room and you know that there is a wall very close to the entry point, or there is another, for instance in this one, there's another room very close to the entry point, and you aren't able to do a button hook by going all the way around. So in this case, the first man breaches in. There is no, well, there technically is an unknown, but because there's a wall there, you know it's not going to shoot you. So the first man clears straight into the other unknown, which is the blind spot to the bottom left of the room. As you can see, the second man then clears up to the top right, and the third and fourth man, and this is situational, the third man will clear 45 degrees to the top left, and the fourth man, if in this occasion for instance, would halt and scope the doorway in between the two rooms to make sure that there's no one else in there and that's secure. If there is no doorway here and it's just It's just closed off. It's just a small room. The door's right beside the wall. The fourth man, he has to make a decision if the room's big enough to cover the arc that the third man missed, or if it's not, just to clear in through, and then he needs to turn around and cover the rear.